Hello there, it's Michelle from CNC Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Zealand, and I'm bringing you another global monthly video hop. So once a month, I get together with demonstrators from around the world, and we create videos based on a theme to share with everyone. This month's theme is thanks. So we are all making projects that have something to do with thanking people. And in the description below my video, you will find links to all the other participants this month. So please go, after watching my video, go click on the links to get more inspiration for the theme of thanks. I will also list all the products I use in this video in the description below. So if you wish to purchase any of those, contact your demonstrator. If you're in New Zealand and don't already have a demonstrator, you can go to my website, michellekritchley.stampinup.net. And you can also get some inspiration from my blog, papercraftaddiction.blogspot.co.nz. So I decided to change up a kit that Stampin' Up! Has. We have this kit that says saying thanks. And in the kit, you get everything you need to make 12 cards based around thanking people. So they're nice and colorful. This is a non-stamping kit, so there's no stamping. It comes with pre-printed cards with different sentiments in various languages. So there's 3 different styles of cards that you can make with this kit. These are a couple of the ones that I did make directly from the kit. And what I'm doing is I'm going to use part of one of these cards to make something different. So for this card, you simply get a section with all the hearts already pre-cut that you can pop out, and you put that over a card base that already has the color, and then you just stick your words on it. But I thought I would change it up a bit and make something different. So I'm going to show you how to make an alternative. And you're going to end up making this card using parts from that kit. Now, if you don't have that kit, because basically I'm going to turn this piece here into a stencil, but if you don't have that kit and you have heart dies, you can just use your heart dies and cut some cardstock to make your own stencil. So let me show you what we're going to do here. So for this card, you just need a card base. So I chose black. I thought black was a nice universal card base. A piece for the inside, basic white. Piece to stamp the words on. So this one I am stamping words. I'm stamping the words thank you from the Good Feeling stamp set. It has a nice big thank you set. And then another piece of white cardstock. Now this piece needs to be bigger than your stencil. So it needs to be bigger than whatever you're going to put on there. And then I'm going to die cut it down. So see, that is actually die cut. So that's why I need it bigger. Now I've already gone ahead and I'm just going to use this one here that I've already used. And I need some scrap paper. And I'm just going to use some washi tape to hold that in place. Now, I originally did this with blending brushes, and then I taught in a class recently, and I suggested they use the daubers, because then you can get more control over what color goes where. So if you have any washi tape or even painter's tape that's not very sticky, just to hold it in place while you do your coloring. This is some old washi tape that we used to sell. So just put it on your scrap paper there. And I just went with 3 basic colors. Now you may notice that I have more than 3 colors there, but that's what the blending does. If you probably remember from school, you start with your, I believe, primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. In this case, we're doing Poppy Parade, Azure Afternoon, and Lemon Lolly. And then if you mix a couple of those colors, you can come up with secondary colors. So best thing to do is start with your lightest color first. So that's Lemon Lolly. And the reason you do that is you don't want to get any of the other colors mixed into your a light color. So if you start it with the dark color and then try to put the light over it, you would end up mixing some of the dark color into your light ink pad. So get yourself a blending brush, and I go towards the edges, because if you just keep going from the center, you take all the ink out of the center and you don't get any from the edges. It stays on the edge. And I just decided to go sideways. Now it might not look like there's a lot happening at the moment, but you will see when I lift up the mask that there is a lot going on. And I'm just going to basically blend across the center with each of the colors. And the areas where the colors mix is going to come out with a shade of green and a shade of orange. I'm thinking I probably need more ink in my lemon lolly, because having done this in a class, I think it got used up quite a bit. And I do it in circular motions to get it right into the edge of all the shapes that I'm trying to color on the stencil. And sometimes I pick it up to look where the ink is, because you might ink up one part and then turn it, so you're not actually pressing the ink from where you had it. There we go, that's a bit better. So I just decided to go diagonally, but you could do however you want. You could do, every other one. You could use your daubers and daub different colors on each heart if you want. I just thought the diagonal was the quickest and the best looking. And I'm just going to do a bit more of the yellow, and then we'll move on. So I've got it taped to the scrap paper so it holds it in place, but also so I don't mess up any background. Okay, I just want some dark bits. Okay, I think that's probably good enough at the moment. Okay, so we'll now move on to the Puppy Parade for the red. And see, that's much darker, so it's more obvious straight away. Now when it comes to going to the area that you've already colored, like with the yellow, you don't want the dark part. You want to get some of the ink off your blending brush before you get to those sections, so it'll blend it gentler and give you more of an orange color. So if I just have a little bit of red coming into these areas, it will turn out to be more orange. And I'm just trying to get the darkness up in the corner so it kind of comes down as a shade, a gradient basically. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then Azure Afternoon, it's a lovely blue. And again, start in the bottom corner where it's going to be darker, and then just blend up. Don't worry if it gets a bit smeared, the more you blend, the better it looks. And then it is a handmade thing, so nobody's perfect. Sorry if I'm wobbling it a bit. Okay, this is not coming off as best as I want it. That's a bit better. And again, when you're blending up towards the yellow, try not to have as much ink on your blending brush. Okay. That's a bit better there. So I'm just trying to get a bit of shading. That's why I'm going over certain areas a bit more than others. All right. And with this technique, it's going to look different every card you make, depending on how you color it, how much pressure, how much ink, etc. So now let's see how it looks. Moment of truth. Don't worry if it rips the bottom of the card, because we're going to be die cutting this piece of cardstock, so that doesn't matter. Take that off there. Oop. Sorry about that. Oop. Continue. There you go. Sorry. Alright, so there you go. So we've got a bit of orange and some greens and blues. Now I'm going to die cut that. But before I do, I'll do a couple other things. One, I'm going to stamp the words in Memento black, and then I'm going to fussy cut them. So a nice dark thank you. I just wanted the big words. Now with this stencil, you see it's got this section that there's no hearts in. Now that's because on the actual card, that's where you put the words from the kit. But that's where I'm going to put the words for here. If you want it to have hearts there, you could just move the stencil down and then put some hearts, color some hearts there if you wanted it all to be hearts. Okay, so there's the word thank you. Doesn't matter, I've smudged it because I'm going to fussy cut that out. And then for the inside, I'd always like to do something on the inside so it's not boring. So for the inside, I'm actually going to color some hearts. So what I did, see there, is I turned it over and did a few hearts on the inside. So again, I use the washi tape. Just over, just to hold it in place. And this is where I use the daubers. Now I could have used the daubers on the outside. If I decide I wanted any of those darker, doing the daubers would have helped. Or you could have done the whole thing with the daubers. But I'm using the dauber this time, so I have more control over what's being colored. So I'm going to do yellow on 3 of them. Definitely want yellow on the middle. And then I want a bit of yellow on either side, because those are going to turn into my orange and green colors. So lots of yellow in the middle. And when I do this, I tend to twist it, press and twist to get the color right into the edges of everything. And I want to have pretty dark yellow on these, because when the other color comes on top, it's definitely going to change the look. Okay, so there's my yellow. And now I'm going to do some red. Not sure if I need, I don't think I need much red. This has been used quite a bit recently. So I'm just putting a lot of red right in that first one. And then the second one, I'm just going to gently tap it. Tap it enough so it gives it kind of an orange shade. So dark red here and there, just tap gently. Gives me kind of an orange. Gotta watch out I don't go into the yellow. And then lucky last is the blue. Let's see. Yeah, got a lot of blue on that one still. So again, twist it around, get it in there nicely. The more you press, the more ink you put on. So some people put a lot of ink on because they don't think a lot's coming out. But I think the issue with that is if you don't press and give it a bit of a twist, you're not getting all the ink out, because it goes right to the edges. So see how dark that's getting the more I press it. And now I'm just going to gently tap around the yellow one and give it a bit of a shade of green. So it's going to come out looking slightly green. Okay. So that's the other alternative. If you don't have the blending brushes, you could just do your mask in those colors. Now let's just gently take this off. Try not to rip the paper. There you go. So that's using both sides of that mask. That's the inside of our card. So, whoop, I'm gonna focus. There we go. So we got the 5 different colors on the inside as well. So I'm gonna die cut that and fussy cut that and come back and put the card together. Okay, so I die cut that with the largest die from the Deckled rectangle set, and I fussy cut the words out. So let's put this together. So for the inside, we'll pop our bits on the inside. I always like to use tear and tape. Don't know why, it's just one of my favorites. The inside I usually just go either side because nobody's really going to try to pull it apart. That should be sufficient. And I do my tabs, make it for easy placement. Line it up. When you're happy with that, press on the sticky parts and then pull off. And then on the outside, I'm going to stick this down. So on the original card, the stencil, you know, the popped out part was popped up with some dimensionals. And the background of the card was colored. The cardstock was already colored. So that's another thing you could do. So again, if you don't have this kit or that stencil, you can simply make your own. Grab whatever shapes you want to put on it and just die cut a piece of cardstock with a lot of those shapes. Like if you've got lots of hearts or maybe stars, or if you can mix up. You might have different size hearts. Lots of interesting things you can do with stencils. So I'm just going to roughly center that. And then in the kit, this had a bit of string behind it. I'm just going to use a bit of organza ribbon. I'm not sure if this is current, but I do know that we have some other ones that are fairly current. I just like how this sparkles and brought out some of the colors in there. So I'm just eyeballing how long it needs to be. And I'm going to put some tear and tape right where I want the ribbon to go. This will be covered up by the words, but the tape holds the ribbon in place. I can never figure out whether this should go that way or that way, but think that looks pretty good. The ribbon's just going to hold that in place. Pop some dimensionals on the back of your words. I always cut some dimensionals in half for those little sticky out parts. And then the big ones. Center, maybe another sticky out part. Oh. Oh, doesn't want to come off the finger. There we go. I don't go overboard with my dimensionals. I tend to cut them in half and use them that way more because they'll last longer. And then just pop your words there. So you could have any words in here, really. You could have thank you or something else. Now, the card I made, I used some little bits of bling. I think they're retired, but I was thinking I could just color some of the hearts that popped out. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll put the hearts on. So bring my dauber back in, and I'm going to do the same as I did on the inside. I'm going to do 3 of them yellow, and then I'll end up having 5 different colors. So there's yellow. That one's a bit lighter. Okay. Oh. Getting a bit lines on that one from the edges. The other option you have is if you don't have the dauber, what you can do is you can actually press it right into the ink. Press it down into your ink. And that colors it as well. See? Nice solid color there. These ones I don't want as dark because these are going to be colored. Okay, so let's see. Do I have enough ink on my red? We'll do some ink here, try to get this one to be orange, orange-ish. And then I can also, decide on the shades that I've got on the card by how much ink I put on the hearts as well. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And my blue one. Okay, that doesn't have a lot of ink on it, so we'll get the green one going. And I will press that one into the ink. Ooh, nice solid blue. That's really nice. Okay. So with those colors, I'm going to move this so I don't get color on the back of my card. And pop those up with some mini dimensionals and put them on a few different spots. And that will be my decoration instead of putting bling on. Oh. So you can see the ones that I stuck in the ink are actually quite wet on the back because they got that much ink on them. So you've got to be gentle when you place those. So let's place these on the card. I just place it over, make a few of the hearts pop by having the dark bits over them. And also, this is a good way to hide any flaws if you have any that didn't come out quite the way you want it. You can cover them up with the other hearts. So like some of those blues weren't as solid as I wanted them to be. There we go. So instead of putting the bling on, I put the hearts. So I got a few of the hearts that are popped up now. Okay, so there you go. That's your thank you card. So that's a version of this, which was inspired by the kit, which was that one. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check in the description for the links to the others that are participating in this month's Global Monthly Video Hop. And I'll also have all the products listed there for you to make this project. Thanks so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.